Okay. So thank you so much. Thank you everybody for making time for this session, and also taking the time to do that questionnaire. It just gives me an idea about, we had like 25 people who responded, and then people coming in today around 9 people, which is great. So it just gives an idea on where you are all coming from and what you want to get out of this 1 hour sessions with us together. So let me give you already a taste of mindfulness for high achievers. Now, I am not achievement addict, high achiever, so I had to do some homework. And obviously, I listened to the podcast that Astuti did, gave me a really good insight. I had an idea, but it gave me a greater understanding of people who are really achievement oriented, and they love to achieve, and what are your challenges, and how mindfulness can actually support you in making sure that you are not suffering from being addicted to achievement. So many of you, just going through the questionnaires, some of you said, what's your intention? Basically, there was four themes that came out of it. Learn about meditation, be more mindful, focus. Many of you wrote focus, how to be more focused. And really glad that I saw learning, getting other insights and perspectives, and just getting motivation and inspiration, new way of looking at things. And that's exactly what mindfulness does. So I'm really happy that all of you had something around that. And there was also a big thing around inner calm, inner peace. So with this, let me just dive into a practical exercise very, very quickly to give you a taste of mindfulness or meditation before even we dive into it. Okay, so I still have some more people. Let me let them in. And this is a perfect example of doing multiple tasks and being mindful at the same time. So those who are joining us now, we are recording this. So if you missed the early few minutes, you can always go back. We'll share that with you. And I just started by sharing some of the intentions from all of you, what you wanted to achieve out of it. So basically, how to be mindful, learn new things, insights, perspectives, and learn to be more focused and calm, that everybody needs inner calmness. So I'm going to guide you through a quick exercise. Now, I don't know what your perceptions are about meditation and mindfulness. Maybe what comes to your mind. We'll use chat. It helps me to be more interactive. The more interactive we are, the better it is for us to learn faster. Okay. So this is a quick way if you are busy and you are trying to do too many things and you just need to have a calm, just a second of breathing space. This is in mindfulness, we call it breathing space, and it literally takes less than a minute. Sometimes a minute can be really, really long. So with your eyes open, this you can just look at the screen. We are all looking at each other if you have your videos. If you don't, just look at wherever you want, the environment you are in, the room, and just look around. And this, imagine you are in a busy meeting or in a hustling road, wherever you are. This can be done at any time if you really need to breathe and just have a calm moment. So I'll give you a taste of it. Just look around and breathe. Look around. I'm sitting in my son's room, so I'm just looking. And as you are looking, just pay attention to what's around you. Now I can see there's some rain, but there's the sun coming out, which I didn't see before. And just breathing as well. I can see some of these stickers that's been here for years, getting it more clarity. So just looking around your space, breathing in, being aware of your breath, and maybe some noise, if there's any noise in your surrounding. Nothing to do, just, oh, there's some noise, or, oh, I see this in this room that I didn't see before. And just breathing and bringing your awareness to your body posture, how you're sitting, lying, just noticing, nothing else to do. And notice maybe some calmness around there. Yeah. So thank you. That's called a very quick, it's not even 1 minute. So you can see that you really wanted to know how to bring calmness, inner calmness. Inner calmness is basically inside you, right? So just by taking your attention away from whatever you are doing that is causing you stress or causing you anxiety or causing you to hurry up or that kind of overwhelm, when you bring that, get away from that and just look around, what you see with your eyes, pay attention to, maybe there's a smell. We did it with the noise. And just by being aware of some of these five senses, right? So we can see from our eyes, smell from our nose, mouth, there's something eating. If you have something to eat, you can do that too. Hearing. So just using your five senses is really letting you get an access to your own calmness. Okay. Now, as I'm speaking, I can see I'm really being slowing down naturally because I'm being more mindful, because this is a mindfulness session. So it regulates naturally. The moment you bring your awareness, your focus on yourself, you start to become very, very mindful automatically. You don't have to do much. It's an automatic, direct impact that happens in your body, in your mind. Okay. So with that small introduction, I wanted to, how many of you know or have been practicing mindfulness? Or you can say no, yes, just that is fine. I can see some of you, but those who don't have, please use the chat box just to give me a kind of, yeah, very quick interaction. Hello, Christine. Christine, on and off, kind of occasionally. Okay. And that's fine. That's why we are all here. So it's great because now some of the things that achievement addicts or junkies that I heard, that I read, there were lots of blog posts around it. I understand that some of the things that happens to you in daily basis is you have your goals and you set your intention going around achieving those goals and maybe putting those tick marks and just keep going, right? Keep going. You have a lot of energy. You keep moving. You keep pushing. And those targets and those goals keep getting higher and higher, right? Because you are so confident and you have so much of energy and you have this mentality of, I can do it all the time. And what you really need from time to time to come back to yourself and to have some moments of peace and calmness is, first of all, mindful moments. So that's why mindfulness and meditation is a great way for you to start learning a little bit about it and applying it and using it. So something that it might sound weird for you or something that is like, oh my God, I cannot do that, is obviously slow down, right? Because you are always on the go, 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 achieve, 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 get things done, done, done. And then check out your own achievements and see what And I also read that you don't actually have time to actually celebrate your achievements because you are so focused in the next thing that's on your list of doing. So meditation and mindfulness is what's going to help you to bring that, natural slowing down slowly. So obviously you can't do that after this mindfulness session, 45 minutes of mindfulness session, but definitely you can do that as you start practicing. And the way I like to share mindfulness meditation is it's really incremental and it's really tiny steps, very, very small steps. And I'm sure with your mentality of achieving and doing more, you want to jump. And that's where the learning part will come is we'll learn how to take those baby steps. It's going to be very uncomfortable. I'm sure even listening to that is like, oh my God, that's not for me. I'm not in the right place. But I can definitely guarantee you, because there's enough research and scientific studies now and studies that's come out where mindfulness has been or is by far the number one tools and techniques that people are using it to slow down. So I just read one blog from a lady who's also a scientist, Achievement Addicts and Junkies, they call themselves, and then recovering. And it's a self-imposed recovery symptoms that they have found out of themselves. And then the ways they are using is mindfulness. So what quickly to give you what mindfulness is. It's not something that you might have heard about it a lot here and there in blogs, in businesses, in maybe in TV and all that, but it's been studied since the late 60s and 70s. Just to give you an idea, this is John Kabat-Zinn, who is the modern day inventor, not an inventor, but he just brought it to the Western world, something that is very common in the Buddhist and in other religions, but it's nothing to do with religion. So what he did is took away all the part that's connected with Buddhism or secular religion, but it's more about a practice. So he actually experimented. He went to India, did some meditation, saw that it was very beneficial for him. He's a medical doctor. He went back to the States and then started using it. He made a 8 weeks course and then started using it amongst his patients who were struggling from depression and stress and anxiety, overwhelm, those kind of issues. And quickly he learned that within 8 weeks, these people were they were able to manage some of their own stress and depressions. So he started, rolling it out with scientific studies. They do have this, I can't explain you everything how they do it, but it's called focused groups, and then they started collecting information, sharing with other science-based Stanford University and many other big universities. And then today it's a proven method. That's why I can guarantee you that if you do it even for less than 3 weeks, which I have done recently during the COVID time, we did mindfulness sessions, 3 sessions for 3 weeks, introduction, session 2 and 3. And within 3 weeks, because we collected data through survey questions, this was in the midst of COVID, that was in March, they were able to provide us feedback on how they felt calm, inner peace within these 3 weeks of 45 minutes, 1 hour sessions like this. And then we gave them practical exercise. The exercise I just did with you is a very practical exercise that I invite you to apply and experiment. Okay. So this is a bit of science, and it's been studied many, many years by now. So there's tons of, it's no longer a thing that may work or may not work. This is the only thing that the science has so far has enough research and studies around it. Second thing is, some of the things that achievement addicts need, like if you go to a doctor, so obviously you go to a doctor and you don't even question the doctor, right? The doctor will say, oh, check this, and then he will prescribe you some medicine. Do you ever question the doctor when he prescribes you medicines? Use the chat box, yes, no, okay? Just to engage ourselves. Do you say, no, doctor, but I don't think this is a good prescription? Any questions do you ask? Yes, you ask questions. That's great. I don't know many people who ask questions. Myself, mostly not. So basically, when doctors prescribe us something and say, this is your symptoms and this is what you may have, do this test, do that test, take this medicine. Most of the time, we don't really ask questions because we trust the doctor. And we go and we do whatever they tell us. So think of this session as, you are achievement focused. You love your achievements. You are driven by achievements, something very important. And maybe you are here because somewhere along the line, it's not working for you, this mode of being, on the go, keep doing. So you are here to see what else can I do, because as you said in the questionnaires, you want to have more calm, more focus, more inner peace. So the prescription, if I'm to prescribe you, I would say, okay, you need to get some time off from your busy schedule. You need to have maybe 1 or 2 days away from your social media, your computers, your phones. Now that sounds really impossible, right? But that's the prescription I would give you. And be in the nature. Mindfulness is also that. Be in the nature. So these are the prescriptions I will, and then also talk about your achievements while you are taking some time for yourself, because many of you, from what I learned, has no time to celebrate achievements. So until you really own your achievements before you move to the next one, that would be some of the prescriptions I'm going to provide to you. So mindfulness is going to help you to get those calms. I'm going to get into the benefits of it, but I would like to talk a little bit about the qualities. When we say mindfulness, there are certain qualities we are talking about. And those qualities are, first and foremost of all, the one I love about is curiosity. Okay. So when we say I am mindful practitioner, I meditate, or I would like to become more calm, peace, inner strength, these are the qualities that you are inviting. So openness, being open about things, not being judgmental, okay? Because judgments is something that comes naturally to you. So practicing openness, friendliness. So being harsh on yourself. Every time you achieve something, there's something else. So being mindful of some of those things. How do I be more friendly to myself and not beat myself up because I haven't achieved so many other things? Curiosity, being very curious, like, why do I always feel like this? Why am I always running after one thing to another? And many of you may have already heard from others, right? That you are this type of a person, you always do this. Our people who know us can see these symptoms, but we just don't see it ourselves. The other big thing that we learn when we start learning about mindfulness and practicing mindfulness is acceptance. Accepting the situation you are in, accepting that you are high achievers and you are driven by achievement, but also accepting that maybe this way of being, this mode, this style, lifestyle, it becomes our lifestyle. So this lifestyle may not be optimum for you, because in a way, to get that achievement, maybe you are paying high price, which is the peace of your mind and just being calm, right? And that is very big nowadays. We are all struggling to be in calm and peace and just be quiet. Another, you might want to write this down. I can share all of this with you. Patience. So some of the things that you're going to learn is how to be patient, how to let go. We hear a lot about letting go, letting go, let go, let go. It's a big practice that we need to do. So with mindfulness practice, you're going to learn about letting go. And for me, the most important thing is learning to be kind and compassionate towards yourself. Okay. So with this, and then there is gratitude and trust in everything that's going on in your life, trust in yourself, trust in other people. Like as much as you want the best of everybody and everybody around you, you can trust. You can start to learn to trust that other people are there also for that, and you can count on them. Okay. Now, if you have any questions, I'll pause here for a second. Or any reflection, anything you want to share, please feel free to either unmute or maybe put it in the chat. Nothing. Okay. So can you please repeat the qualities again? Yes, absolutely. And I can share this when we share the audio as well. So it's openness. You know, we all have our own way of thinking, right? Our own opinion, our own judgment. And when we start practicing, it's just saying like, okay, this is how I think. This is what I think of this person. You know, we all know this one person that annoys us. And the moment we hear that person's name, we're like, oh my God, I don't want to talk to this person, for example. So openness is just being aware of that and saying, okay, you know what? Let me be open. Let me see what this person has to say or show or share. So that's openness. Friendliness is when we are always stressing ourselves, you know, being kind and friendly. How do you deal with your friends? You're always friendly, right? Even if they call you in the middle of the mist, you make time for them. So being more friendly towards yourself. Curiosity, approaching situations, people, and things with a sense of curiosity, not with a judgment, like, I know what's going to happen in that meeting, or I know what my mom's going to say. I know exactly what she thinks and what she wants for me. But being curious, let me be curious. I wonder what she's going to say. That changes already. I wonder what my boss is going to tell me if I share this. Okay, so just a curiosity and wonder and playfulness. Acceptance, accepting that I am struggling right now, if that's the case, or accepting that I am the high achiever in my whole team. And what I learned is also your high achievement, your 80%, right? The achievement addicts who are very efficient, very energetic. Your 80% is normal people's 120%. So that means you can actually do less, but still achieve a lot, and then have some space for yourself. So some space to be more mindful, some space to be more calm, to learn that. Okay, so that's a really good news. And the other qualities is patience. These are just the moment you start learning about mindfulness, these are just something that happens automatically. It's not even something that you have to go like, okay, now I wonder when my patience is going to come. Mindfulness practice automatically, it's an outcome of mindful practice. Letting go, kindness, and trust. So the moment you start practicing all of these qualities, you will start experiencing these qualities. Yes, thank you, Asiti. So these are the qualities, and sometimes we get really tired of running after our own achievements, right? Running after our own goals. There's always a goal. You've achieved this, but some of the ways you might communicate with yourself is, yeah, but I haven't achieved yet this, but I still have to do this, but I should be doing this. So I invite you to give you a taste of what a meditation is like, Astuti. And from your comments, I learned that you want to learn more about meditation, how to do what's the right way. So I'm going to speak a little bit to that, just 1 or 2 minutes. For me, I've been practicing for more than 20 years. Theory, going from theory, trying to understand the theory part of it into practicing. I was not this calm person all my life. I started practicing, I'm 43. I started practicing this when I was in my 20s, and my life changed. So I was a very strong headed, opinionated, right and wrong, and there was nothing else kind of a person. And today, all of these things I'm speaking to you about, openness, friendliness, curiosity, has made me more, um, I like myself better today. Because before I found that my way of being was more rigid, more, in a box. And if something didn't fit in that box, then nothing was, I suffered myself. Um, so this practice is going to help you really to come find your own peace. I'm wondering, what was your turning point? Thank you for the question. My turning point was, I realized, so I came to Switzerland, I was a student, I fell in love, and I quickly realized that because of my character, I was looking for jobs, like really short-term jobs. And then I had this very strong mentality, strong-headed person, that I'm Aries, so I was very true to Aries. Um, I had like these relationship struggles, where um, for the first time I realized that my relationship with my partner was, always fighting and arguing, because I always needed to be the right, I didn't realize it by then. But and then even jobs, I was looking for jobs, and I used to fight with my bosses because I couldn't take orders from anybody else. It was very difficult for me, and as a young person, I didn't realize that at work I can do that. So quickly I realized that I'm a really fun person, good person, but with a very bad character. And this character, it's only my family and friends who knew me, especially my parents. They are the only ones who can tolerate. And when I started reflecting, the reflection that came to me was, and also my parents are only, they can only they are tolerating me because they don't have a choice, right? They couldn't disown me as a daughter. So that was a really, so that's something, acceptance. I had to accept that fact. It was something that was true for myself. When I realized that, that was my turning point. I said, if I don't do anything about the way I am being, then I will always struggle. It will be a lot of fighting, constant arguments, or tensions between relationships. And I like peaceful peace. I like a nice, smooth flow of being. And that's when I looked into mindfulness, not in this way, because I grew up with my grandmother, who is spiritual, who taught me many of these things. So I knew where to go. I knew who to ask these questions, and she helped me to do that. But really realizing that something is not working in my life, and if I didn't do anything about it, then I would not have a peaceful life. So for me at that time, it was the most important. And one of you in the questionnaire wrote, how do I focus on what's most important to me right now? So my turning point was, the most important thing to me right now is really accepting those bad behaviors I had. And we all have that, bad behaviors was screaming and shouting with my family and friends, or just quitting a job because I didn't like what the boss said, and then struggling myself, trying to look for a new job, putting myself in the market, going through the whole process of looking for a new job, and then taking short-term job, knowing that I have a bad character, right? Like, I know I'm going to do this at some point. So my jobs for 3 to 4 years was just, the maximum I did was 7 months. And now in the job I'm there 13 months. And it's because I started practicing mindfulness and started really looking at myself. So that was my story. So I'm going to go to meditation. So for me, meditation, and my grandmother used to say, when we think about meditation, maybe we automatically think about people who are calm and in some spiritual things, or who has no emotions, or always stable like this, and always in control, and we wonder how they can do, and we can never be like them. What helped me was my grandmother said, you know what, if you have to go to the jungle and meditate, that's the most easiest thing to do. The difficult part is being in your life here and now, in your family, sitting amongst your family, with your kids, with your family around, or at work, or in the middle of the street, and still being able to maintain that groundedness. And that I really liked, because when I started practicing, that was the most difficult thing. Like, I had to, I remember at work, I had a lot of strategies to start practicing not to open my mouth, because one of the things that put me in trouble was my mouth that opened, and I used to say exactly what I thought and felt with everybody. It didn't matter whether they were family members or people from outside, and I didn't have that filters. So sometimes at work, I had to really drink a glass of water when I started practicing, so that I won't open my mouth, or sometimes remove myself from the meeting rooms and go out for a walk, because I would be so tempted to burst out my feelings and share my ideas, which put me into trouble. So that was really my mindful moments where I started practicing. Okay, this is what I need to do. I need to keep quiet, first of all, sit back, and then go back to responding maybe some of the questions that come. I'm just looking at a question. I find it easy to be open-minded to new things, new people, but as I grow to know the person, absolutely. That's why, a really good question. It happens to all of us. It's just a human nature. Once the brain understands and knows something, we get into automatic mode. Okay, that's why mindfulness is something that we have to practice all the time. It's never like, okay, I'm done with this tick box, goal achieved. No, it's very counterintuitive for high achievers. You can't tick it off and say, I'm done with open mind. Doesn't work like that. So how do you deal with it is always bringing this aspect of curiosity. So I know these people, I know this person. What new can I find out again? Okay, so that's a constant question we apply. It's an attitude, in life. So that's how I do it. Like, I know my son in and out, but every time I remind myself, of course I forget, but sometimes I fight and then we go through the same motions. And then I have to remind myself, okay, let me hear him well. What is he trying to say? And then most of the time I find out that what I heard was not what he said. It was something that I wanted to hear, right? So there's always something new when you are coming out from curiosity. So maybe use curiosity, for example. Accept that we have this, that you get bored, and then we get used to. I'm someone who reads book one page and then goes at the back because I get bored after reading one page. So nothing wrong with that, just knowing how we are, and use curiosity, or maybe kindness. If I'm kind to this person today, even though I know everything about this person, what am I going to learn, or what am I going to hear differently? Okay, so uh, I'll hold these questions, keep coming, but I invite you to, let's do a meditation. Okay, so meditation for me is, I tell people, you don't need to go to the mountain, forget about that. You can do it anywhere you are. So I like to sit with my crossed legs, but anything, the key here is just to be comfortable with your posture. If lying down feels better, please do it. And and some of the common questions we hear when we talk about meditation is, then I fall asleep. Basically, falling asleep is because your body needs it. Your body is falling asleep because it probably has been sleep deprived. So it's normal. So comfortable positions, whatever that is for you, if possible, this back straight, because your spinal cord, you see, there's an energy that flows through this spinal cord. So it's like cord, that's where the energy is flowing. So if you can keep that straight, it's recommendable. But if you can't, that's fine as well. It's not to be rigid, like, and then mindfulness goes up from the roof because you are not being friendly to yourself. You are trying to fix a position. So it's no longer a mindfulness. It's more about how to have the perfect position and how to sit perfectly. Not that. Just comfortable. You can close your eyes. Closing your eyes gives you a better experience just because you can focus better. You can gaze your eyes down if completely closing your eyes feels a bit uncomfortable. You can just look down. Um, and then this is a meditation in compassion, self-compassion. Now, learning about high achievers, you have probably not a lot of space for yourself. So I thought this would be a nice meditation to do together. So I invite you just to close your eyes if you can, otherwise gaze down and just find a comfortable position, a posture of your body. And just noticing, bring your attention to your breath. And when I say that, it's just noticing that you are breathing. I was breathing when I was talking, but now I'm more aware, like, oh my God, I am breathing. Okay. There's some noise, so if somebody can mute themselves, that would be great. And just noticing, the body touching the seat, the chair, or if you have your feet on the ground, just being aware of my feet is on the ground. How does that feel? And bringing your awareness to any internal sensations, anything that's happening in your body right now. It could be the beating of your heart. It could be just feeling your pulsing, your nerves, or just a flow of energy. And then remind yourself that you are not only bringing awareness, but more caring and loving awareness for this particular meditation. And as a beautiful gesture, if you want, you could perhaps maybe put your hands around your heart area, because when you touch that feeling, it gives a feeling of warmth from your hand to your body. So simply noticing how the body responds to this physical touch. You can leave your hands here for the entire meditation or just put them back on the side as you feel right. Now, I invite you to just move your attention to your breath. Perhaps taking your first deep breaths, big inhalation, and long, slow exhalation. The moment you do this, you are already mindful. You don't have to strive for it. Just in breath. You can make noise. You are there by yourself. And release. In breath. And exhale. Allowing yourself to release as you exhale and letting your breathing return to normal, natural rhythm. Now just breathing normally. And your mind will probably have wandered immediately, maybe into the thoughts, am I doing it right? Am I sitting it properly? I have so many things to do. All of those thoughts. And if it does, if you notice that, simply bring it back to your breathing. Like imagine if you had a little puppy and it just goes away a little bit, starts to wander away, what would you do? You just tell it, come here, puppy. So it's a bit like that. Bring your attention. Come here, my little attention on the breath. Let's sit on the breath for a second. This is where you need to be right now. So again, letting your awareness rest in your breath, breathing in and out. And then paying particular attention to the in-breath now. Noticing that as you breathe in, you are giving yourself what you need at this moment. You are nurturing yourself with each in-breath. And perhaps if you are aware of any way you are struggling right now, you may breathe in with some other quality like kindness, love, compassion. Breathing in this quality with each in-breath, and perhaps you might find that there is a word that rests easily on each in-breath. Maybe a word that represents what you need right now. Or perhaps just general warm golden light or quality of warmth. Allowing yourself to really receive with each in-breath something good for yourself. And then realizing, releasing the focus of your in-breath and switching to the out breath. If you hear any noise right now, just noticing there's some noise. And again, as you breathe out, this time bringing to mind someone you know or aware of who may be struggling as well at this moment and might be needing some compassion. So allowing an image of the other person to arise in your mind's eye and directing your out breath to this other person and sending this person what they need right now. Something like maybe kindness, love, compassion. Maybe this person needs that you understand them or accept them. And again, this may take the form of a word that gently rides in your out breath, or perhaps simply a feeling of warmth like a golden light. So with each out breath, sending something good to this other person who may also be struggling. And then bringing both together, acknowledging that you as a human being struggle, as does this other person. And then bringing in for yourself, something good for yourself, compassion, kindness, And with each out breath, breathing out for the other person, the same compassion, kindness, and love. Simply breathing in and out. The one in breath for me, the other out breath for the other person. In for me, out for you. And again, your mind will wander, have wandered. You can refresh the image for yourself or for the other, or you can just put your hands on your heart again to physically connect with the sensation of care and love. Breathing in the ease of compassion for yourself, and out the ease of compassion for the other. And maybe just noticing, how does it feel when you bring this compassion towards yourself? Does it feel awkward? Does it feel uncomfortable? And how does it feel when you think about the other person and send them some compassion and kindness and love? Just noticing that. And if at any point you feel that you may need some more attention, go ahead and give more compassion and focus for yourself. Just breathing in like waves, in and out. And we'll slowly bring this meditation to a closure, bringing your awareness from your breath to your body, just moving in slightly and gently allowing yourself to open your eyes, coming back to this moment, here and now. And if anybody would like to share anything, please feel free to do so. Thank you so much. This was 15 minutes meditation. So I'll pause here if you want to share anything. How did that feel? Was it long? Anything, one or two words that would help. Feels very good. Thank you, Dominique. I wish I can do this all day. We have an answer for you, Monica. It's centering. I wish I can. Thank you, calming. Yes. As you give me your feedback, I feel well rested. So you see, this is 10-15 minutes. And I challenge everybody because in today's world, I like to say that even the unborn child is busy. So being busy and having lots of things to do is not cool anymore. It's not trendy. Being peace and having 10-15 minutes, finding that time for yourself is the trend. So if you want to be cool and look trendy and be on top of everything, finding 10 minutes for yourself is the most coolest thing you can do in today's world. That's how I like to present it. Mindfulness is a lifestyle. So you have to consciously choose. It's no longer, you can't achieve this. Okay, putting it in your achievement addiction language, you want to achieve peace, calm, you got to put some time for yourself in your calendar, okay? You got to have that space. Now, it's not me. I'm just a, small fish in this world. This is coming from big, successful entrepreneurs. I mean, Astuti and me, we have seen many of these people ourselves. Any businessman, any successful person, if you start looking in their life or what they share as successful leaders, most of them have a practice of keeping some time for themselves. So it's nothing new. Without that, you can't have peace of mind. You've got to work a little bit, like you work for your goals, right? You work very hard, you put everything there to achieve and get successful. So it's the same formula. So you don't have to think about a new formula. You know the formula for success. All you got to do is um, have that space. And very, very normal, Dominique, I found it difficult with the noise from the background. Absolutely. Imagine me, I'm trying to be focused and guiding people of how many people? 14 people. Yes, the first instance is I just wanted to say, and I did say, my first reaction was, somebody please mute yourself. The second is, notice, yes, there is a background noise, but my focus is my meditation right now. What's important for me right now. So that's how you can focus as well. I keep distracted. Absolutely. It's part of it. It's totally normal. And how to deal with noise. Oh my God. The first time somebody told me that the traffic noise from outside, or I used to have in my apartment these bottles, they take the recycled bottles and they that noise in the morning, like 6 o'clock in the morning, used to drive me nuts. I used to wake up and scream from the window like, shut up, it's Saturday. And somebody told me all of that noise is not gonna impact you. I was like, tell me more about it because I really want to learn that. And I can tell you that noise, you will learn. Mindfulness practice will help you to, that noise will not go the away. Huh? It will always be there, but your relation to the noise will be definitely different. And obviously, we can't do all of this today, but definitely in if you start practicing. So really short, we're running out of time. I'm going to stop here and allow us to tea because I have to leave in 5 minutes as well. And we've talked about something that Astuti is going to share with you that may be helpful or useful.
Yes. Thank you.
And
Thank you.
I'll take the questions after.
Yeah, perfect. So just very quickly, thank you so much, everyone. I didn't do justice to Puja because we just dive right in the beginning. So I just would like to thank Puja again. Puja and I have been friends for many years now. And she's one of the people that I really learned a lot from and love very much. And over the past few months, I have been looking for ways to support as many people as possible in this very difficult time. And mindfulness came to us, to me, and to Puja. So it is certainly something that needs a lot of discipline to do, as Puja was mentioning to us just now. So what we would like to offer you is weekly uh, gathering circle like this at the same time, maybe a bit shorter, up to 45 minutes until mid of December. So every Tuesday at this time, we are going to meet, uh, and every episode, Puja is going to talk a bit more deeper about specific parts of different parts of mindfulness. we are we are just very grateful to be able to offer such a tool. It's free, so all you can do is just to make time for yourself. I'm loving being the host and Puja being the content of this. And yes, so I'm going to send in the link how to register with the same link, reminder, all these things from Eventbrite. And through that link, you can choose whether you would like to come every week, whether you can only make it for a number of times. It doesn't really matter. I know for myself, being mindful is quite a work to create a discipline, and we just would like to offer this next 7 weeks to equip you to launch on your own practice after. So it's just building up a practice together, and possibly we would also like to record this so you can do it in the days that we are not doing this. So this recording will go to you. If you want to continue the meditation, you can just easily listen. So that's the invitation from both of us. And thank you so much. Go back, please, Puja.
Yes, we are really excited because I know that, we all struggle. I struggle every day too, even if we practice. Suti has been practicing for so long as well. But I also know that when we are in a community, I learn more. That's my way of learning. I learn faster. The process goes a little bit faster. So really, really happy to offer this to support each other in these difficult moments. At least in Europe, last week, there's been more restrictions around COVID and all of that. So I was myself very frustrated. And it also helps us to keep our own practice. So it's really win-win situation, we thought. We were thinking if people want more, how could we support? So there's a small way of a small gesture of supporting each other in these difficult times. And yeah, so Austuti is so achievement oriented. Within 5 minutes, everything, we talked for like half an hour, everything was set. And I loved about her about that. I am not like that. It'll take me another 1 month to even do something. So I'm learning how to be a little bit more achievement oriented, because both ways is not good. So we are trying, we need to be somewhere in the middle.
That's right.
And I think Annie's question really relates to the high achievement people. How do you slow down yet not feel guilty of not so productive? Great question. And this is one of the symptoms of high achievers. You are always feeling guilty for not doing less. So that's why one of the practical exercise that you could do as high achievers is, even if you don't join, put that 45 minutes in your calendar, okay? And just by doing that, you can start practicing, because you know the sense of feeling guilty, right? So the moment you don't do anything, you start feeling guilty. I don't feel guilty for not doing anything, because I came to an understanding that it's okay. And also to understand, Annie, that if this feeling of guilty is serving you, it's making you feel great, obviously it's not because you are asking that question. If it's something that is fine, it's working for you and you are producing more and you are feeling guilty, but you still produce more, I think it's okay. It's only probably not okay if this is impacting your well-being, overall state of being, your mind and your heart and your body. So I really invite you to, all of you, to, even if you don't come, take your calendar, put the next 7 weeks as an exercise, because I know that something like this is big, like, oh my God, this is not possible for me. I can never do that. Have some time for myself. No way. I'm going to be so guilt ridden, right? So this was something that we thought, and just acceptance. So Annie, I invite you to play around with the word using these qualities. How would you feel if you could just accept that, yes, I do feel guilty when I'm not doing anything? Or bring in a little bit of friendliness. How about I'm a little bit friendly to myself and allow myself to be guilty? It's like if your friend comes and says, I am so guilty, I'm feeling so bad, what would you tell your friend, right? So play around with these words that Astuti put there. Acceptance, I would invite you to accept yourself, to feel guilty, and allow yourself to be open and curious to say, what happens if I just allow myself to be guilty? I'm curious to know how I would feel. I'm curious. I want to know, because maybe you don't know. So just playfulness, letting it go, that you always have to be productive. So this is how we're going to do in these 7 weeks, playing around with these words. I love to be playful. I'm not serious. I don't think mindfulness is serious. And that's how I play with everything. So I have to go. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much for your time. We'll share the recording.
Yes.
And we'll be here next week, same time.
Yes. Thank
8
you,
o'clock
everyone.
Geneva time, and we'll finish 45 minutes.
Yes,
So-
shorter than today. Yes. Thank you and have a wonderful week ahead.
Yes, thank you,
Bye.
everybody. Thank you so much. And send us your question if you have any.
Yes. Bye.